Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today I'm going to pull back the curtain on a story that's been blowing up in the news. Yesterday, a number of media outlets and YouTube commentators, including Europe Curious, reported that a Texas oil company with very close ties to the orange fascist gangster in Washington just shipped massive drilling equipment to Greenland without drilling permission. Now, here's what's wild. Many media outlets reported that this equipment came from Canada. So, is our government in on it? Maybe to appease Trump before the August 19 timeline? So here's what we are breaking down today. First, a Trump-linked company makes moves on Greenland soil. Second, the corporate players actually doing the shipping. Third, the dangerous misinterpretation. And fourth, what it really means for Canadians' reputation and sovereignty. Stick with me, folks, because this one gets really interesting. Alright, let's start with the main players. Greenland Energy. Yeah, that's a provoking name, isn't it? It's a Texas-based company that's been cooking up a plan to drill for oil in Greenland's Jameson Land region. But here's the thing, Greenland stopped issuing oil licenses back in 2021 for environmental reasons. And this company, they didn't have a proper permit and got a strong warning from Greenland and Denmark's government after unloading equipment without approval. What did the warning say? All future logistical matters must be advised and approved by the Mineral Resource Authority before they are carried out. That's the government telling them, you're out of line. Now, to be fair, the company claims this whole thing isn't about annexation. But come on, this is happening while Trump is posting AI-generated photos of himself, looming over Greenland with captions like, "Hello, Greenland." And in January, he told the world, it's our territory. That's a pattern here. And it's not subtle. Now here's where it gets complicated. The next massive shipment of 300 shipping containers packed with drilling gear is scheduled to leave from Canada on September 12th. And yes, Canadian companies are involved in this. Who are they? First, there is Descartes. They are based in Quebec City and they are the best in the business when it comes to Arctic logistics. They have the right vessels, ice class, heavy lifting and built for Arctic conditions. The drilling rig itself, that's coming from Stampede Drilling Inc., a Calgary-based operation. The company's CEO said Greenland would be the first international project. So, we've got a Quebec shipping firm and an Alberta drilling company, basically providing the muscles for this entire operation. And the equipment? All being stacked right now at the port of Valleyfield, west of Montreal. One of Descartes' executives described this project as required complete self-sufficiency. They're operating in what they called complete and absolute wilderness. Everything has to be tracked carefully. This is serious, high-level Arctic logistics. Canadian companies are world-class in this stuff. This is the exact and only reason why they got the contract. And here's where people getting confused. The media reports are saying the equipment was shipped from Canada. Bang! And it's true, it has been. But some folks interpret that as Canadian government is involved. Let me be crystal clear about this. There's absolutely no indication of any political involvement, endorsement or even approval of the government of Canada regarding this drilling shipment. None. Zero. This is entirely a commercial undertaking, private corporation using standard trade infrastructure. The involvement on the Canadian side are routine port and export regulations. Transport Canada overseeing safety and environmental compliance. That's it. It's standard bureaucratic clearance. No political sponsorship. Plain and simple. Canadian officials treating this strictly as a private commercial venture. The legal authorization of the actual drill, that rests entirely with the government of Greenland. And yes, some of the Cygnet's vessels got stuck in the Persian Gulf earlier this year during a naval blockade. We had to coordinate with Global Affairs Canada to get them to safety. But that was about rescuing Canadian ships from a disaster the orange idiot has created, not greenlighting an illegal drilling operation. There's a difference between working with the Canadian shipping industry and being complicit in a geopolitical land grab. No matter the lies and conspiracy those people like you to believe. Here's what got me worried. The way this is being reported and how some YouTubers and commentators are spinning this. It creates a false image of Canada's government. Some folks are jumping to the conclusion that our Canadian government approved this, that we lent a hand, that we were complicit in helping a Trump-linked company to ignore Greenland's law. And that is dangerous, not just for our reputation in Europe, but for how Canadians see their own government. We are the country that opened a consulate in Nuuk, Greenland, alongside Denmark in February, to sign our support for Greenland's sovereignty. We've signed agreements with Greenland about Arctic cooperation. We've been standing up to Trump's annexation talks. And now, some people think we are helping the orange gangster and conmen drill there illegally. That's insane. And it's a problem. The shipping was done by a Canadian company because they are the best at Arctic logistics. Full stop. But that's being twisted into political endorsement when it is clearly not. And you know what? Maybe that's exactly what the orange fascist gangster wants. If he can make it look like Canada is playing ball, it undermines our position. It divides us from our European allies. It damages the united front we've been building against US pressure in the Arctic. Stampede Drilling actually puts a clause in their contract that the whole deal depends on getting final approval from the Greenland government. That's a smart move, but the damage might already been done in the court of public opinion. So here's where we stand. A Texas oil company with ties to Trump is trying to ignore Greenland's law. Canadian companies got hired to move equipment because we are the best in the Arctic. But that's become a convenient story for people who want to paint Canada as complicit. The Canadian government isn't involved. No endorsement, no approval, just Canadian businesses doing what they do best in the private sector. But the perception out there is a different story. And it's exactly that stuff that weakens the united front we need against Trump's gigantic BS. This is something we need to be loud and clear about. And this is exactly the reason why I'm doing this video today. Here's my question for you. Do you think the Canadian government should go so far to tell private companies what to do and what not? Like the orange gangster does? I can tell you that would not work well for our Canadian reputation in the EU. Drop your thoughts below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. And if you can, share this video with family and friends. Because Canadians need to know what's really up. Thanks for watching. I'm Wilfried Lemkula with Europe Curious, where we don't just repeat the daily headlines, but open the curtain so you can see for yourself what's really behind it. See you in the next one.